All right, guys. Hey, it's Michelle Thomas, and this is another week of our live inspiration and training call. And I'm not going to say it, but I am going to say it. I'm super excited. I say that every week, but I really am because every week we have just such a cool guest, and they have such a cool story, and they have so much to offer. So it's exciting. But this week is extra special because Aimée Darling is on, and she's an Emerald Ambassador, and she has Helen McFadden is in her upline, who's in my upline as well. And she has shared several things that Helen has passed on that I have just clicked with, that has really inspired me and driven me. So I'm really excited for her to just share her heart, share her testimony, and she's going to pretty much have the floor. I don't want to take up any of the time that she can possibly share with us. So, Aimée, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm so excited to be on your call and be with you, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Michelle, tell me, how long am I going on and on and on? Uh-oh.
Sorry, I was muted for a second. We try to go for like 20 minutes, so you have like 20 minutes.
All right. Okay.
I just mute myself out so that the screen doesn't flip back and forth. So.
Okay, fabulous. Oh, so they can see me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's all you.
All right. Okay. Well, I do want to welcome everybody to the call, and I really appreciate, Michelle and Tim taking the time to seek me out, and we were chatting, and we talked back and forth and share, and so you all have some amazing leadership going on, and exciting. There are so many exciting things that are going on in your team. It's exciting. So I know we sound like a broken record all the time, but it really is true, and we kind of run out of words. Like, I find myself having a vocabulary of, wow, amazing. Oh my gosh. You just don't know what to say anymore because, God is so good, and he's blessed this company, and he's blessed us with so much, and the health testimonies, I'm just amazed. So anyway, let me give you a little bit about me so you know who I am, and some of you may have heard my story. I've already been on Helen's call a couple different times with Helen and Sonia, and then also on the national call with Sheila Medina. And so let me just give you a little bit of background. I met Helen and Sheila and Sonia over 20 years ago in another company. We were all in the same company together. And when I left the other company, I had spent 15 years with them, loved it, loved network marketing. I learned a ton and, drove the top cars, made tons of money, accrued a lot of debt, and really kind of stepped all over my husband as far as, oh, honey, this is my year. We're going to do it. And then just never really got there. And so that was kind of my story. And I loved it. I actually quit a master's program in speech language pathology years ago to pursue that company so that I wouldn't chase more than one rabbit. So anyway, that being said, my son was born. He was ill. And he was digestively ill, and I chose at that point to leave that company. I really felt like I was being led to pursue nutrition. And so my son, through nutrition alone, had been healed, and then that was fabulous. So he was the catalyst for that. Well, my husband's job moves us a lot. So I became a nutritionist. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and we went to school. I lived in Denver, or we lived in Colorado, and we've moved everywhere. So his job moves us a lot. So when people say to me, well, my husband's gone, or my wife is gone, or, I don't have support, well, neither did I. And so it's not easy, but it's doable. And so we moved a lot, and then I became a nutritionist, like I said, and then every time we moved, I had to restart my practice, and that's never fun because you don't really have that residual in income. And then we figured out a couple years back that my daughter was a struggling learner. And last year, actually it's been 2 years, Helen contacted me because she knew I had just moved to Oregon from Las Vegas, and she knew that I was looking for something for my practice. And so she and we've been friends forever. We maintained our friendship after we both left the other company. Our families are good friends. And Helen was the person that really took me aside years ago, and she taught me a lot. And I took those same skills into my nutrition practice. So, when people say, oh, I've never been in network marketing, well, if you're good at whatever your job is right now, then you're going to have skills that will come across. If you have people skills, you have follow-up skills, you have computer skills, all of those things come across. So I took the same skills I learned in the other company, and then I built a successful practice. Well, Helen came to me and said, okay, I've got this new product. You really should look at it. And people call me, oh my gosh, all the time. How do I talk to my practitioner about, this product? And I'm always say to them, just be a testimonial. Love it. Be a testimonial, because when Helen came to me, she was all excited, and I blew her off. I said, no, I'm good, because I have network marketing baggage, and so I didn't really want anything to do with it. And it wasn't that the company wasn't good, it wasn't that the product wasn't good. I just really didn't want anything to do with it because we just moved, and so the timing wasn't good. So I wasn't really saying no to her, I was saying no to the timing of it. And so I would just encourage you to do what Helen did. She just went on, to become the third diamond in the company. She went on and she just kind of ignored me. And secretly, I was researching the product. So she didn't know that, and I watched her all over Facebook, and I thought whatever, and I never commented and I never liked, because I had this kind of holier than thou, my $100 probiotic is so much better than yours, and I really just kind of had a bad attitude. And so she ignored me. We were still friends, but she ignored me. And then over the winter, I gained 20 pounds. And I had previously lost 60 pounds and gotten real healthy through diet and exercise only. I had been kind of struggling forever. And over the winter of moving to Oregon, I gained 20 pounds. And I became extremely depressed. And my thyroid went off. And I started seeking medical help all over the place, because I knew that I was a mess, and I became extremely depressed. And then stopped exercising, stopped eating well. I wasn't working. I would take my kids to school in the morning. I would drop them off. I'd come back home and go to bed. And it was really bad. And so my husband refers to those months as the dark months, because all I did was yell at my kids, and I just wasn't even me anymore. And it was horrible. And so Helen started in the company in September. She contacted me. I said no. And then in April, I called her. And this will happen to you. Everybody always comes back. And I contacted her and said, listen, I've been researching this. I want some. I'm going to go ahead and start with it, but I'm not going to sell it, but I want it at cost because I'm cheap. Well, I didn't have any money, and so I really needed to get it at cost. So I started it, and of course I had immediately started feeling things, and like so many others, I don't have a huge testimonial. I slowly lost weight. My thyroid fixed itself. I came off of all my anxiety meds. I came off of everything through the course of 6 months, and it took time, but I felt so good that I was willing to keep going. And then, because God knows, right, what needs to happen in my life, the next thing you know, of course, I'm telling people, you can't help it. And I wasn't trying to sell. I was just, people would come up to me and say, you're nicer. Or they would come up to me and, talk to me about, you look like there's something you're doing, because I was losing a lot of weight through my face, my neck, and my body. And so I would kind of secretly tell them. I'd say, yeah, I'm doing this thing. And I wouldn't really tell them, but I've always viewed Plexus as a tool. And so when people bring me products, they bring me everything. And your practitioner has been brought everything. And I didn't want to sell anything else, because I can go get all those other products from a grocery store, or it's fly-by night. And I had no desire I wasn't looking for a business. Well, my body had healed. So then I had this testimonial. And then the next thing you know, I started telling people, and I started telling other practitioners, and not tons of them, but people started becoming ambassadors. And the next thing you know, I had a paycheck. And next thing you know, it was replacing my income. Well, here's what I know. My very first check paid for all my son's medical bills that month that were really bearing down on us, and it paid for my daughter to go to the special school she goes to. And so every month I kept feeling like, well, I guess I'll build a little bit more. And I kept working with Helen, and she kept telling me what to do, figure out how much you need to make. Okay, I need to make $1,000. Okay, how much, how many people do I need to talk to? And Helen really taught me, and what I know to be true is it's not the results that you're after. It's the effort. When you will sit down and really draw a line in the sand and say, okay, I really do love this business. I really do love helping others. I do it for free. I know the product's clean. I know that the product works. I know that it's affordable, and I know that it's simple. And that's what I look for. And when you know all those things, then you can sit back and say, okay, I'm going to map out when I can work. If you don't map out when you're going to work, then we're all busy people. But if you don't map out when you're going to work, then you're not going to stay dedicated. Have a space. And, I did those things. I said, okay, Helen, I'm going to work 5 hours a week, week in, week out. I'm still going to hold my other job. I'm still going to be a single parent most of the year because of my husband's job. And I'm going to do this. And I have good days. I have bad days. I have days where I've quit in the bathroom silently. I've screamed and cried. I can't believe my best friend's ignoring me. I can't believe that, my friends are thinking I'm a crackpot. I mean, I've had it. And then you just, I'm going to quit. And then you go, okay, all right, I'm over it. I went through it. I'm moving on. And then you get right back to your goal. I have my goals written all over the house. Involve your family. When your spouse, my man was not excited in the beginning. And he is now. But he really had to see that I was consistent. He didn't need to see a big amount of money. Because you know what, frankly, $50 a week would have been extra for us. $100 a month, whatever it takes. And I just knew that I was willing to get through the long haul. I was with that other company for 15 years. I'm willing. And so what I've seen now happen is that having a goal every week, I know that I want to talk to 20 people every week. I don't care. I don't care if they tell me yes. I don't care if they tell me no. But if I will put in the effort, the results will come. Helen and I talk about that all the time. I send her texts every day, and she knows I'm not looking for her to get back to me. I'm not looking for her to tell me anything. I'm not looking for kudos. I just want accountability, and I stay plugged into everything. I drove 8.5 hours to get to Reno to watch her do an event because I don't know what I'm doing, and I need consistent help. And I really believe that school is never out for the pro. And so that's what I did. And what happened is that the next thing you know, every month we moved up. Became every rank, every month. And those little bonus checks, 1 month it paid for bills. The next month it paid for more bills. The next month we literally were looking at my Ruby check going, okay, I'm going to get that little bonus. That's going to pay for Christmas. You guys, it matters. $200 a month would have made all the difference for us feeling silently crushed by bills and nobody knew. Because we just don't look like we're needy, okay? And so I would just say to you, the most important thing you can do is dig down deep and figure out, if you couldn't fail, what would this business be for you? And then write it down. And then get a piece of paper and whatever your style is. If you're somebody that's fluffy, then make a puffy paint board. If you're somebody that's not fluffy, then just use a piece of paper and pens and whatever. But involve your family. My kids have cut out pictures of what they want when I make goals. And we've slapped it on the board. My husband, he wants new golf clubs, whatever. And we as a family, we do it. And then the number one thing for me is to turn it off. When the day is done, the day is done. And Plexus is so exciting that you always want to work more. And I found myself, especially as I was qualifying as a team, we were qualifying for Emerald. I was brand new. We became an Emerald team within 10 months. That's not a record breaker. We have this amazing leadership above us that has done it in record-breaking time. And I would just tell you that I want to compare, right? It's hard. I have to remind myself that it's okay to run at my own pace. And in December, God put on my heart Hebrews to run the race with endurance that has been set before us. And that I've clung to. So I have my goal. I know what I want to see happen. And I focus on the effort. And then I'm not afraid to tell people. I just keep telling people, here's what I'm doing. I take lots of breaks. I take lots of vacations. And I really just focus on those things. And then I've been not sitting, but building as an emerald now since March. So of course I have days where I go, I'm not where I want to be. It's okay. You just have to get over that. But consistently building new clients, consistently building new team members is the key to moving yourself up, because I'll tell you, you'll be rewarded. I've had months where I've worked and had nothing happen. And then the following month, boom, lots and lots and lots and lots of things happen. So if there was any one thing I would tell you, I would just tell you, you don't need to know it all. You don't. My first events were all by myself with a stick slim and a water bottle and some Dixie cups and some pictures of other people, because I did not look like some great testimonial. I had already lost a ton of weight. And people look at me and they go, oh, you're a nutritionist. Of course it works for you. So don't think that being a nutritionist makes this job easy. People tell me no just as often, probably more, because they're like, I know everything, which I don't. And just become a pro at learning how to talk about the product and learning where your resources are. You have a great team of resources. You've got YouTube videos. You've got my YouTube videos. You've got company YouTube videos. You have Michelle's. I mean, you have so many. I would show videos because I didn't know any better. And I would just open up a stick of Slim and call it a day. And that's really all I did. But what the business has done for my family, I could cry. I could cry. My husband loves his job. He has no desire to quit his job, but he's a wildland firefighter. And being able to give him the gift of saying, you know what? I have an income. I've never had a consistent income, ever. I have consistently had great income, no income, great income, no income, and he's put up with it. I've followed him around the world, from job to state, but I've never had a consistent income. And being able to look at him pay our bills and know that the stress of having to take overtime hours isn't there. He can work his job because he loves it. And, we're not rolling in the dough people, but we're finally able to get out of debt. Plexus is here to stay, and there will always be negative, crazy things in every single job. You got to put your blinders on and focus on your goal, and gather people around you that believe in your goals. And you have a team of people that believe in your goals. And if I can do it working, you can do this. Be consistent. And honestly, if you're struggling with whatever because you're not comfortable with the presentation skill, you're not comfortable with, time management, you're not comfortable with product knowledge, wherever you feel like you need help, you have got to take self-responsibility, reach up and ask for resources, and then just start learning. Because it's not for the people that are brilliant. It's for the people that are willing to work. And I'll tell you, it's true, because I didn't want this business, but I was working week in, week out, week in, week out. And next thing you know, it just exploded. And that's all I really would say to you. And, and I had a bad attitude, but you got to get over yourself and get that line in the sand, and then just start listening every day to these tapes, and not tapes. Oh, I'm dating myself. Listen every day to the YouTubes and the things. And, I write on my mirror in my bathroom, and I work my hours, and that's all that I do. And for about 6 months, I waited for the shoe to drop. I did. I'm sure Michelle could say the same. I was like, this is not real. How could this be real? And every month I'd get a paycheck, and I'd be a blubbering idiot, and I'd cry. And every month would say, Helen and Sonia would say, I know, it's going to come again next month. And they're right. 15 months later, it's there. But if you're not committed, people can feel it. You can't fake commitment. And it's okay to not know everything, but you got to get committed, because then people will come back a year later. I have friends that ignored me, said horrible things to me, and I cried. I would call Helen and cry. In the very beginning, my husband said things to me that were terrible because we didn't want to go this route again. And you know what? I just said, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to do it with you or without you. And I'm going to go find new people. And that's okay. And then I learned how to talk to people I don't know. Is it comfortable? No. Is it getting easier? You betcha. But when I get to the end of the day and I look at my kids and I know that because I was willing to be bold and to step in to what God has given me as a skill, not that it's perfect, but I'm willing to be bold, then I can look at my kids and I know I can say, because I am bold, you can have what you need. And I don't have to put my child in a public school. And I can give her what she needs. And now we're homeschooling her because that's what she needs. And we didn't have those choices before. So I would just leave you with that. You know, this business is about falling forward to success, and it brings you choices. And I'm still learning. I still call Helen. I still call Helen. I still call Sheila. I just talked to Sonia the other day. I'm like, okay, I don't need a response. I just need a moment. Let me cry. Let me, it's not going my way. And then I'm done. You love me. You support me. We're moving on. And I still have those moments. But you have a huge team of people waiting for you to move into those positions. And I just encourage you. I just encourage you because it's fun. And we get to go to Maui.
Yeah, we do.
That's it, girl.
Oh my gosh, Aimee, seriously, like I can't even tell you how many times I got chills listening to you, because I think it's the part that I think is so amazing is that it's like you're confirming a lot of things that I've said to be true. And when I got into network marketing, I was the person that had no clue what I was doing. But I brought 10 years of working in corporate, you know, where I didn't necessarily have network marketing skills, but I had being consistent, understanding that I get what I put into it, and understanding that I have to commit to what I was doing. I mean, when you said you can't fake commitment, absolutely. I mean, I remember it's like self-sabotaging, you know, yourself and like your growth and your abilities, and willing to be bold, becoming a pro at learning. It's like personal development and this business, like I can't even, like to most people that know me or around me, I'm a completely different person than I was when I started Plexus. Not the inside, you know, I'm still me, but I'm a different, like the fact that I could be on a call like this, I'm a completely different person. And so anyways, I love you. Thank you so much for being on this call. You've just inspired me, and I know you've inspired our team, and I cannot wait to see you in, I think, 20 days.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Everybody, just enjoy this week. Remember our plan to put your money where your mouth is. Get some enthusiasm in your business and some excitement. Put some prizes out there for your teams. Get some movement going. You know, set some goals with them. Talk to your level ones, and just encourage people to build with you. So anyways, everyone have a great week and continue to rock the pink.